What are cryptocurrencies?
Hey, hey, hey.
What are NFTs?
A non-fungible token.
Time to buy Bitcoin.
Bitcoin just seems like a scam.
What's up, Fvckrender?
Hello everyone, welcome back to On The Ledger. This is your host Moel Sayed, and I'm back once again on your weekly rendezvous from Paris. This is the kind of episode I look forward to all week. Our guest today is one of the most fascinating creators of this space. A futuristic 3D artist who is known to push the technological limits of digital art and is now considered an OG of the NFT movement. It all started when he taught himself how to use 3D art software in his free time while working at a restaurant. Then came Instagram. Fast forward 7 years, he's worked with some of the biggest names out there. Lil Nas X, LeBron James, Puma, Spotify, Instagram, Supreme, Christian Dior, Hypebeast, and many more. To date, he's sold over 2,000 NFTs and auctioned off his art at Christie's and Sotheby's. But what really makes him special is that he's a worldwide full-time DJ. In other words, he's one of us. Our guest today is obviously Frédéric Duquette, aka Fvckrender. Fvckrender, welcome to On The Ledger. How's it going?
Hey, thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, man, super stoked to chat with you. I mean, we've got a lot to cover there, so let's get to it. On The Ledger, Season 2, Ledger meets Fvckrender. Here we go. So, lots of people know your name, but some of them might not be very familiar with your work. How would you describe your creative vision in a couple of sentences?
Yeah, I would say I do digital surrealism. I'm trying to make something that people will see and be like, "Is this real?" But it's not real. I think that's my aim there.
All right, and there is something super futuristic about this. The shapes and the forms and the contrasts and the colors. Why is that? Is there something? Are you basically trying to visualize that in your own perspective, the future?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think I just I'm a sucker for lighting and environment lighting. So I always try to experiment with different type of light and how materials interact with how light balances on materials or refraction and reflections. I think this is these colors really are more into how light works more than the futurism basically.
All right, makes sense. So August the 5th, 2015, you know which day that is?
Is it my first artwork on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. All right. So yeah, it's basically the date of your first Instagram post. If I were to travel back in time and tell you that 7 years later, you'd have collaborated with the biggest names in the industry and auctioned off your art at Christie's and Sotheby's, what would you have told me then?
I would told you to shut the fuck up. No, honestly, it's pretty wild because I never really wanted or expected to work in digital art or just be an artist. It was just for me to do something and just make my brain work while I wasn't working at the restaurant. So I had no expectations. So it's pretty wild, honestly.
That's crazy. And why 3D? What happened there? You were working at a restaurant and then you started learning 3D art, but what kind of basically ticked at that moment?
I'm not sure why 3D because I always wanted to paint and draw, but I was so bad. And I wasn't really interested in learning how to do it. But I saw couple people doing digital just 3D and stuff like this, and I was highly interested because I like to be on my computer. I'd rather be on my computer than go outside, and I don't know. To me, computer stuff always attracted me. When I was young, I wanted to be a hacker, but I wasn't smart enough to learn how to code. So now I'm only an artist.
Makes sense. All the introverts in us. The Dijon introverts. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, when you started with Instagram, you were doing, one piece of work a day, and you managed to do that for 5 years.
I mean, to me, it was just to learn basically, and just to get quicker because I was doing commercial work. So my goal was to be able to finish that 45-minute show in a weekend instead of 1 month, because like I needed money to pay my rent and like just live a semi comfortable life, you know. So like to me, it was really more just about to learn faster and just like it was like a shortcut basically, but it's not really a shortcut because I was spending like 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day learning. So
That's great, and I mean, it's kind of that body of work and all of the work that you've put out there that basically created that whole concept and that led you to work with some of the biggest names in the
yeah,
industry.
yeah.
And tell us about your first collab. Like, how did that happen?
The first one was with a Quebec, like Quebec band, and it was just like I was working with one of the shittiest like agency. Like they're so bad. They were so like they scammed so many artists like without paying them, and like they were very shitty. I got paid for this because the director on this project was actually a nice guy. But yeah, like it was crazy because I remember really well. Like I went into their office and they were like, they saw like some Instagram posts. I never animated anything before, and they were like, "Oh yeah, do you want to do like this music video? Like, are you good at animating and stuff like this?" And I was like, "Bro, this is your fucking chance. Like, don't screw this up." And I was like, "Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty like good at animating." And like, I was like, dude, I never lied like this in my whole life. I like
Fake it till you
literally,
make it.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, dude, and when I came out, I was so excited, but I was like, I'm fucking stupid. Now I need to learn how to do all of this shit. And I actually crushed it on this project. And I was like, it gave me so much confidence after to like take more project and like start like really getting into this basically.
Okay, that's very interesting. And what was your first big collab?
The first big collab, I think it was one of my first gig, and it was with Toki Monster.
Okay,
Like she asked me to do like their full on music video, and I did one, and I end up doing like couple ones and like tour visuals and like album covers
that's
for.
awesome.
Yeah. Now she's a great friend now, so it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like that was like my first like big collab.
Yeah, that's very interesting because we see it in the way you've actually been exploring NFTs as well. You have this deep connection to culture, and it's something that is actually quite apparent because in the NFT world you have a lot of artists, but if there's a spectrum, most of them are more on the very crypto art spectrum without necessarily having all of these entertainment and cultural and fashion connections that you have. So, speaking of NFTs, I'm curious, what attracted you to NFTs? Tell us about your aha moment.
To me, the aha moment was when I realized that I could stop work for someone else and be an actual artist and be recognized as an artist. Because to me, like that like my whole career, I wanted to be an artist, not an executant, you know? So it was really like I'm not really good at doing commercial work, honestly. Like I would even say that I fucking suck at doing commercial work because I don't I'm having a hard time understanding what someone wants. I'm good at executing what I want to do, you know? That's why like commercial work was really draining for me. Like I honestly every year I was like having two burnout, like pretty massive, and like I was always depressed. And now it's been like a year and a half that I haven't really done commercial work, and I feel fucking insane. Like it's yeah. So like to me, like the real moment was like when I understood that like I could stop doing commercial work. That's like life changer for me.
Yeah, it's all this, this aspect of being sovereign. That
Yeah,
is,
and now I'll do commercial work now, but only if it's like an official collab, like example Ledger X Fvckrender, you know, because this is not commercial work;
Yeah.
it's a collaboration.
All right, some kind of alpha there. But but yeah, I mean, I totally understand. Now you can do it on on your own terms. Being someone that has a vision and not necessarily being an executant, but someone with the possibility and the liberty to actually create something that emanates from the core of whatever you've been creating before. So after that aha moment, what happened and how, it's a steep learning curve. You have a lot of things to learn about. It's a new medium. So, you've got wallets, marketplaces, token standards, and security. How did you manage that at the beginning?
Dude, like my best friend Victor Mascara and my fiance Beige, like her real name is Joe, but like every night we're like just like chilling at home and like just watching movies and stuff like this. But when this started, I was literally sitting on the ground on my laptop reading every fucking thing possible about NFTs, about crypto, about anything. I was on every Discord, and like they were so done with me because like I wasn't watching the movie with them anymore. I was just like I was so immersed into all this, and I was like, this is so fucking crazy. I need to learn everything about it,
Yeah.
So yeah, like
That's insane because most of the people I talked to, the first few weeks or few months, we all went through the same thing. You wake up at 4 a.m. At the middle of the night, you check your Discord and your phone and you're like reading stuff. And sometimes I mint stuff at 3 a.m. Why like it's just waking up because of the FOMO. That's
yeah.
crazy. Okay, so you went down that rabbit hole. And how did your audience react to it? Because you already had a big audience on Instagram back then.
I'm so grateful and lucky. I had like maybe like 20 comments that was negative in my whole time of doing NFTs.
All right.
I think people were just like curious and interested, and like I also think like at first like when I started to do Nifty Gateway drop, like my art really like were pretty cheap and sold for a lot of money. So I think people were getting interested in this, so they didn't want to like give me too much shit because they were interested of like this like financial aspect, which was I don't know. I don't really like that, but like yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of the whole idea of basically having this narrow relationship with the community is that the community can actually share your success, and the early adopters they can when you win they win, and
dude, my first one-on-one Nifty Gateway sold for $3,000.
Lucky
That's
person.
So crazy. Yeah, exactly.
That's insane. Moving on to another topic, there's something I really like about you, and it's that you're an artist who's actually embraced the culture of the space, from its values to its memes. You're a true degen, as we say. How would you, describe this culture to a newcomer?
It's really welcoming, and it's like, it's literally like us being kids, and like, it's like us being kids with the financial status around it. Like, honestly, like I feel like a fucking kid being able to like just the other day I traded like a Bored Ape for like ETH and some doodles, and like when we were young we were trading like Pokemon cards, like it's just crazy, man, because I get to like make friends with people that has the same interest as me, like collecting, I don't know, like Victor Mascara's piece or Beige piece, and I get to connect with these people, and like I get to meet new people. I don't know, like it's such a welcoming community, honestly. And like now I feel like with the flipping community, like there's some negative things around all this that are coming, which is fine because it was doomed to happen. I do think we're gonna see a pretty big correction of like markets, and like people are gonna there's too many shit coming, so like I'm scared for this. But yeah, I think like generally people are really welcoming.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't made as much friends as I did since high school.
Yeah, exactly.
I made so many friends in Web3. It's crazy.
How hard it is to make friends as a grown-ass dude or grown-ass woman
Super
or grown-ass adult.
But
it's so crazy.
And the interesting thing is, I've made friends with people, and spoken to them for months and didn't even know their names. Didn't even know how they looked like. And
that's so funny. And like I met for a whole year I was talking to this artist called Thank You X, and we met in NFT NYC, and like we FaceTime like almost like every week or like almost every few days. And when we met, we just like we saw each other, we just like fist bump and everything, and we started to talk. And like after 10 minutes we were like, bro, it's the first time we see each other in real life. and we started to like go crazy. Like it was just fucking insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And the other day, I was interviewing someone from the Web3 community. Basically having a chat for a job, and I was, at the end of the interview, I asked him what his name was, and we laughed about it because, like, in kind of the old traditional kind of job interview, you get the CV, you look at the person's name, his image, and then you go into what they're interested in, what they've done before.
Yeah.
And here, the whole process was completely flipped. So we started with, hey man, what are you doing in life? What are you interested in? What are your experiences? And then we ended with, what's your name?
Yeah,
Which
that's
was
so crazy. I love this so much though. It's insane.
So yeah, speaking of your art, let's go back to talk a little bit more about your art. You started with, by minting one of ones. You were mentioning Nifty Gateway, but there was also, Super Rare and Foundation.
Yeah, super rare.
Which have been, an impressive success. But kind of last year there was a switch there, and you decided to build a community around your art with, with the crystals. Why is that, and how did it change your, creative process and perspective?
Yeah, to me, as much as I absolutely love doing one-on-ones, and I think one-on-ones are super important because they are my one-on-ones are the most important piece. So every pieces that has a historical value for me, they're gonna be one-on-ones. But at the same time, I want people to enjoy my art, and I feel like if you only do one-on-ones, is you put yourself in a category of type of artist that I personally don't connect with. My goal is not to as much as I would love to sell a piece for $1 million. This is not what I'm chasing. I'd rather make connection with people that are like me and people that love my art, and create an environment and a community around my art. Mm-hmm. This is what really matters to me, is bringing people together, and it has always been like this. When I was young, I was throwing these skate events in my hometown. I come from Magog, a very small town in Eastern Township of Quebec, and I just wanted to do these skate events and get people together. And this is what I'm trying to do right now, is get people together basically. And I feel with one-on-ones, you're just you're blocking people to join, to collect, and to enjoy your art basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different, and to your point, it's about being very selective and having this shining star of one piece. But maybe for the people listening to us who maybe have never heard about Fvckrender crystals, could you explain to them what it is, and how you've built it, and what's the vision behind the project?
Yeah, so I started this project about a year ago, called Fvckrender, and to me, this project was really to get people to understand and see my art in a different way. So I created this virtual experience where you can walk around my art in basically like a game. So after this, it was pretty successful on Nifty Gateway and everything, and I was okay, I need to create something that will bring more people in Fvckrender that has utility, because I wanted to separate my one-on-one and my art in general with utility. So I created this Fvc crystal for people to have a utility in what I was building. So everything's going to be around the crystals basically. Right now it's not Fvckrender anymore. We changed the name for Lucidia because we wanted to be more inclusive, add more artists to it, and make it more makes more sense to, if an artist wants to release on Lucidia, then Fvckrender. I don't want to be shadowing anybody, or it just feel weird.
Makes sense.
But yeah, the Fvc crystal really came into life to make people really be part of Lucidia basically.
Okay. And there was something about that Fvckrender, if I remember correctly, is that you were going to be showcasing all of the art that you haven't minted yet, or that you're never gonna actually mint. Is that still the vision behind it?
No, it's everything that I minted will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it would be too crazy to.
I was I misunderstood, but it would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been pretty crazy actually. That I don't hate that idea. I might take a bit of this.
It's on record.
Yeah.
Trademarked. Okay, so you built a community and now you're actually building a world, which is Lucidia. It's kind of a metaverse. Can I call it a metaverse? It is technically, some sort of.
I mean, what's a metaverse? Like Twitter, Instagram, and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Messenger and WhatsApp are metaverse. So like, I would say yes, it is. But at first, it's really more like an art experience.
Okay.
But with high level gamification, basically. But we can clearly say that it's gonna be a metaverse, but because the goal is to get people to interact with each other at any time, anywhere in the world.
So it's going to be something immersive. Maybe you can talk to us a little bit more about how it's going to work, how you're going to launch it, how people are going to access it.
Yeah. So basically, next week we're releasing the first streamable version of Lucidia, because before it was downloadable, and now there's too many like scams and stuff like this. So I don't want anybody to feel stressed to download anything, especially that it's a executive file, so it can be scary. So we decided to work on a streamable version to to ease the stress for people. It's all going to be web based. You're going to be able to use it on your mobile or like any computer, as long as you get a decent connection. And yeah, we're building it by chapters, because we're like, building a game takes so many years, and now with Web3 we got the chance to like build by chapters, which is a really interesting format, I think. And I'm working with a pretty solid game studio in Vancouver called UCAN, and I'm working with ANAMXR to build this experience. And
That's awesome.
they're all used to like just go out and don't talk to anybody for 4 years and build a game. So I'm really taking them out of their comfort zone, which is fun.
That's cool. So as a person, am I going to be able to port my avatar into the city and walk around and chat with people and basically explore all the art?
Eventually you'll be able. And we found, actually yesterday we found the perfect solution to merge every NFTs, because like you see, like it's only like the bust of like most NFTs. So like, how do you port that into the metaverse without like creating like a fucking weird buddy with like a sticker slap on his face,
Yeah.
So we created like these very weird, like surreal, like energy floating. It's gonna be really fucking sick, honestly.
I'm looking forward to that. That's pretty awesome. And speaking of the development of the technology and everything that's been happening in the NFT space, from collectible to art to metaverse and gaming, you've been an active member of the NFT space for a while now. What's kind of your view on that evolution? And are there any things that kind of surprised you in the past few months?
That What do you mean exactly by this? Like, if any project like really like
No, I
caught
mean,
my eyes?
you've been here for the past 2 years, so did you expect this to go this way? And then if what's your kind of current view on the evolution of everything that's been happening in the space?
I mean, I was expecting to be a like era of like big flippers and like a downtime for like actual art. I wasn't expecting it to be that bad, because now like one-on-ones used to be so hot, and like art in general used to be so hot. And I feel now, and I blame like project like Bored Ape and stuff like this, and like as much as I respect them and everything, and it's not their fault at all, but it created like this flipper mentality where people like only wants to do this for the money. And what people don't understand is like money is just the bonus. Like there's so much around everything that we're doing and we're building, and people most of the time only sees the money, and this is very bad. And also people are very impatient now, and I feel like this is like not financial advice, but I feel like for me, my best trade I've ever made was the one I diamond ended. Every time I tried to fucking flip something, like short something, I lost my money. Like literally every time I lose my money. And you see, like I minted like 50 Bored Apes. I diamond ended a bunch of them. I had like Genesis Kongs. I diamond ended, and like these are worth something,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I just feel like people, like what surprised me the most was really like seeing the art take a toll on like all these PFP and NFT project coming out.
Yeah,
But it's gonna come back though. I'm pretty sure like a lot of like Bored Ape when they sell their Bored Ape they reinvest in art, which is pretty a good move, I think.
yeah, it's a fair point. You know, the more people get in, the more money there is, and the more people, you know, when they flip, they take profit, and most of the people they reinvest, you know, at least a good chunk of whatever they flipped. So how are you expecting, you know, not necessarily expecting, but, you know, what's your point of view on how this will continue evolving in the next few months and years with the metaverse coming in and it's kind of the hot word kind of there.
Yeah.
You have gaming and play to earn, you have, you know, of course, you know, crypto art that's, you know, getting bigger and bigger. What's your take on that?
I think it's going to be really interesting. And what I'm most interested in is seeing like how the government will use it as their advantage and how like the medical field will use it at their advantage. And I'm not talking about like how they're going to tax it, but more how they're going to share like data or how they're going to share like documents as NFTs instead of like the old like fax machine, you know. Like this is what to me really interests me is like I think medical field will be a big user of like the blockchain. I know they're already starting to I think like put blood sample on the blockchain, which is pretty crazy. But like yeah, it's just like this is where I think it's gonna be in the next few months and year. A lot of celebrities are coming in. Some are pretty good, some are pretty fucking bad. So it's gonna be really interesting how it played out, but there's gonna be a massive correction. I think it's gonna go like super fucking crazy for the next like year and maybe 2 years. And after that, maybe probably even before that, but we're gonna see like a big correction where NFTs is just something now. It's just like it's just normal. It's like
like a website.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or like FaceTime. Like it used to be like so crazy. Like people were like it was so crazy that you'd be able to like FaceTime your family, and now it's just so normal that I FaceTime everyone. I don't call anyone. I FaceTime them.
We're probably not gonna call it NFT in the future. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it's like calling a song an MP3 or you know.
That's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah, it's like calling it by the name of the format. I guess we'll see how it goes. Anyway, it's kind of time now to move on to our last segment of the show. This is rapid fire. So we like to finish off on a more playful note. So I'll be asking you a list of rapid fire questions. Some of them will be harder than others, but the whole idea is that you shouldn't think for too long. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Your favorite NFT drop?
My favorite NFT drop was Doodles.
All right. Fvckrender Shift or Fvckrender Crystals?
Oof, that's a very hard one, but I'll go with fuck. That's hard. I will go with Crystals, but like Shift is such a sick piece, an important piece for me. But Crystal is just like this big community.
Yeah, I totally get it. I know it's a hard one.
Yeah.
Your dream collab?
Dream collab Ledger.
Wow. All right. Your biggest NFT regret?
Like selling 20 Bored Apes under 10 ETH.
Ouch. Yeah, that definitely hurts. An emerging NFT artist that you'd bet a Bitcoin on?
I bet an emerging artist. Holy shit, that's pretty hard. I would say like Ryan Talbot. It does like very cinematic, like and it like 3D environment, and like it's very like he's really able to put an emotion in his NFTs, and I think that's interesting.
Apes or punks?
Punks.
Okay, why?
I don't know. To me, like this is the first NFT I really wanted to get. But I really love both, but I would say punk.
All right, fair point. Kevin Punks or motherfuckers?
Oh, the Emperors, motherfuckers for sure. Yeah, dude, Kevin Punks is gonna be out in like 2 weeks. We're not gonna talk about it.
The NFT acquisition that you're most proud of?
The frog penis.
What's that?
No, I'm kidding. I bought like this Pepe penis. It's just like a Pepe sitting on his back with his penis on the chest.
Please send me that.
But, yeah. No, I think my doodle, my skeleton doodle.
Okay.
And my Woody Punk cool. too.
The skeleton doodle is very cool. The NFT drop that made you cringe the most.
Dude, too many.
If you had to pick one.
Holy shit, that's pretty hard. Probably like Melania Trump or something.
She dropped an NFT? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she dropped an NFT and I think nobody bought it, and she bought it all or something.
All herself? And was it like her image on the NFT, or is it like, did it have
I
any
have
utility? You have no idea? Okay.
Yeah, no.
A Web3 figure you'd get stranded on a deserted island with.
What do you mean stranded? Like someone I'd like to be, or
Yeah, if you were to be on a deserted island, who would you choose from the Web3 community?
Thomas, the founder of World Wide Web 3.
Why?
Because he's so fucking smart, and I know I would survive with him.
Okay, makes sense. And last question, the thing that you want to change about the space. If you had a genie and you could choose one thing that you could change about the space.
Yeah, make people more patient.
Okay, that's kind of a good thing. Man, it's a pleasure chatting with you. I could go
Yeah,
on
thank
for
you so
hours.
much, guys.
Yeah, we'll look forward to, everything that's going to be coming in the future. We've
Yeah,
got a lot.
I'm excited, and like anything you guys want to do, or like something like I've been using your product since that day I got hacked, and like even when I got hacked, like I had my ledger, and like the only thing they couldn't get was everything that was on my ledger. So
Stay safe, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
thank you so much, guys.
That's it. Wow, what a chat with Fvckrender. Such a cool guy. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And as usual, hit that subscribe button if our content floats your boat. This was On The Ledger from Paris with your host Moel Said. Till next time, take care. Au revoir. This content is provided for informational purposes only and is the sole expression of our opinion and should not be relied upon as legal, business, investment, or tax advice. Do your own research. Any loss or profit is your sole responsibility. Stay safe.